In today's video, let's take a look at our 2-inch Shad Stinger Tail. Now this is the Shad Stinger Tail that is probably one of the best for just all-purpose crappie fishing. Not just crappie will eat them, all kinds of panfish, even small bass will eat these, but this is really a favorite among crappie fishermen. And this 2-inch size is probably, like I said, the best, just general all-purpose. You can fish it just like this on a jig head. It's good for shooting docks or just shooting around structure, brush piles, things like that, fishing open water. You can fish this, of course, under the ice as well. Another real popular way to fish it is just on a slip float here. Basically, you can fish this fairly shallow. You can also fish this fairly deep. You can suspend it in the middle of a water column. You can get it to suspend over brush piles. So this slip float is probably one of the most common ways that this type of bait is fished. And all you have to do is just give that slip float a pull or a little twitch, and this bait will just basically raise up and down in the water column, and that tail just sits there and wiggles. And that's what really triggers those fish to bite. Now you could just use a little small cork style or foam style float if you're fishing relatively shallow. I like to use these when I'm only fishing, 3-4 feet deep. These work just fine. Now another thing that we can do with this, let me pull it off let me leave it on there for now. I'll show you one little trick that a lot of us forget to use, and that is to use a little Beetle Spin. I have not mentioned this on a lot of our other videos, but this is another great little, if I can get it on here while I'm looking on the camera. This is another great little way to basically search for fish. This is a good thing to locate fish. If you can't find them or you don't know where they are, you can fish this just out in open water and around structure and just basically find out where they are. What a lot of guys will do is they'll use this to search, and once they catch a fish or two, they'll then move to their slip float and really start to dial things in and target those fish. So a lot of us younger anglers kind of completely forget that is even an option, is a little Beetle Spin. So another option, very deadly way to fish this, that's kind of becoming more popular, is a dropshot rig. And basically you can just suspend this off the bottom, just like that. And that'll sit in the water column perfectly horizontal, and just look at that little tail. I'm just barely moving the line. That little thing just shakes and dances. And that really is what gets those big crappie going crazy. So now if you compare this, I'll show you size-wise. If you compare this to our 1-inch, it's much larger, much beefier. The 1-inch is a true little micro bait. This one's got a little more beef to it. That's why it really fishes well for those crappie when they're chasing larger minnows, and they're fairly aggressive just kind of in normal times of the year. This is a real popular, the smaller one is microbait. Most of the time ice fishing guys are really gravitating towards this, or if the crappie are really keyed in on fry. This one, the 2-incher, like I said, is kind of your all-purpose size. So those are a few different ways to fish the 2-inch Shad Stinger Tail. We have it available in all kinds of different colors. Since this is one of our more popular baits, we do a ton of color variations and a lot of two-tone colors. Like this one, it's got a little pearl on the belly, kind of an iridescent kind of pinkish purplish hue on the top. But lots of options on our website. You can find them all at moondogbaitco.com. That is the 2-inch Stinger Shad.